You're watching Star Wars Weekly Live Chat with The Force is with Jesse. The Force is with you, always.
Y'all ready for this?
Yep.
Before I start, if you could give this video a thumbs up and subscribe if you're new. This is the way.
Hi, everybody. Hope you're all well. He's back. Sweet, sweet baby Yoda. I hope you're all doing well, folks. Thank you for tuning in to a belated episode of the Boba Fett Book Report. I'm very excited to talk about this episode. My dear Lord, what did we just watch the other night? What did we watch apart from like the greatest thing I've ever seen in my life? And I have seen naked ladies. No, it was so good. I was just really, really blown away the other night. And yeah, I did have to postpone, so I do apologize to everyone who was hanging out waiting for me to go live, particularly last night, because I didn't update it. And it's been a week. Let's just say that. It's been a week. It's been a hard week. I'm doing good, though. I'm doing good. I'm doing really well. Considering I have pretty much packed up. I don't want to say 90% of my Star Wars collection. There's still a lot in here. But, you know, there's empty shelves in here. And this is probably the last live stream I will do in my Star Wars room here. So it's a bit sad, but at the same time, you know, I'm excited for the next stage of my life. I'm excited for yeah, I'm just excited going forward about everything. So I hope you all continue to hang out with me and tune in and hang out, and I'm going to have fun. And yeah, I'm just looking forward to really going, taking my YouTube channel here to the next level. Basically, I'm really, really excited about where I can take it and what I can do with it. So yeah, unfortunately, all my collection is currently backlogged. It's sorted into tubs and is currently at my parents' place. So they're looking after it for me while I transition into somewhere else to live. It's unfortunate, but yeah, in terms of my videos like Power of the Force Fridays, which I haven't really got into yet this year, that will be just put on the shelf for the meantime, just because they are in storage and it's hard to get to them. So I will endeavor to, you know, maybe even just go on eBay every now and then and pick up a couple of figures, and that way I've got something to talk about for a Power of the Force Friday. But yeah, otherwise I'm doing well. Got some fantastic people as always here in the chat tonight. I know it's weird doing it on a Saturday night again. I love doing it on Saturday nights. It's good fun. Everyone sort of in the middle of the weekend. It's great. But yeah, I'm really, really excited to talk about this episode of Book of Boba Fett. Hey, Michael. He says, worried last night. Don't be worried, man. I didn't get online. I didn't get on StreamYard to reschedule. And to be honest, I didn't really know when I was going to do it. But I just decided tonight's the night. I'm gonna get out there, set up and get a live stream out there, because yeah, I miss doing it. It's been over a week. I didn't do it Wednesday night. I didn't do it Friday night as I intended to postpone to. And man, I've watched this episode a few times since. It is so good. So good. Rolando's here as always. Thank you very much. Mr. Hasbro Star Wars. Hey mate, how good was that episode? Hope you're doing well. I am doing well, man. I'm doing very well. I'm happy. Look, the stress levels are a little bit higher than I'd like them to be, but they will level out in time. It's just yeah, just getting over a couple of hurdles. But I'm doing all right. I'm doing well. So I want to just hang out and talk Star Wars. So this was an episode, wasn't it? This was an episode of Star Wars. This was brilliant from start to finish. There's just so much, you know, obviously directed by Dave Filoni. From the Desert Comes a Stranger was the name of the episode. Brilliant stuff. saw the return of some fan favorites from the Mandalorian series. Of course, sweet Baby Yoda. Let's see if his batteries are still going. There he is. It's so cute. All right. Time to go to sleep again, Mr. Grogu. Yeah. So yeah. Let's just start straight out of the gate. Luke freaking Skywalker. Come on. Luke Skywalker. Like, whatever they've done with this dude that Lucasfilm hired the end of last year after the guy did the completely blanking on his YouTube handle, but he did the deep fake overlay of Luke Skywalker from the season finale of season 2 of Mandalorian. And yeah, Lucasfilm hired the dude because he was good at what he did. And obviously he proved himself. And if he's doing the work that they did on this episode, which was just, there's that whole there's that whole uncanny valley thing that they call it, where because that's not what Mark Hamill looks like today, there's something in your brain that says that doesn't look right. But if you're the everyday Joe that doesn't know and you're watching that, you don't know. Like, I was left gobsmacked. They just absolutely perfected it. It was just icing on the cake, it was just incredible use of the technology, honestly. And what's to say they can't go and do a series of films or a TV series with Luke, Han, and Leia as they looked after Return of the Jedi. It's just, we're at that point in cinematic technology where, another year or two and it will be indistinguishable to the naked eye. Like, it's that ridiculously good. Like, it's that legacy of George Lucas just pushing those technological boundaries to, take filmmaking and stuff to the next level, which is it's just marvelous. I was watching it with my best mate Lockie, wherever at his place, Wednesday night, watching it, and man, there were just high fives all around, and the amount of times we just sort of said, like, what are we watching? Is this really happening? Like, not only we get like Luke Skywalker training Grogu, like a training montage, we had the Mandalorian coming to visit Grogu. Didn't get to see him, but he saw him, but he didn't get to go and be with him. And then just Ahsoka hanging out with Luke, like, that just blew my absolute mind. I was just completely blown away by just those few lines that they had together, Luke and Ahsoka, like Ahsoka being the Padawan of Luke's father. Like, I want to hear them conversing and talking about Anakin, talking about history, talking about anything. Like, it was incredible. Like, just, there are a couple of throwaway lines, like, when she says, when I think Mando says, like, how do you know Skywalker? And she just throws a throwaway line like, oh, I'm a friend of the family. Like, what? It was outrageous. And then she has that little mention of, she looks up Luke. She looks at Luke and sort of says, you got your father in you. Like, wow, here he is. There's the man of the hour. G Money. That updated deepfake was incredible. Actually, speechless. Ahsoka was a surprise. Certainly was. Like I had no doubt that they would manage to get her to cross over. Like, we're starting to see these series starting to cross over a little bit and taking the Marvel route of, it's not even, they're doing it in their own way, which is just fantastic. And I put out a bit of an Instagram story the other night because there's a lot of people sort of, they're spending the middle of the week sort of between episodes complaining that, Boba Fett isn't actually in the episode of Book of Boba Fett. And I sort of compared it to reading Lord of the Rings and getting upset when there's a chapter without Frodo. And, that's half of the Two Towers, every second chapter. Well, I think in the Two Towers, it's structured so it doesn't jump from chapter to chapter. You literally read all of Frodo's story and then all of the rest in that book, whereas in the movie it sort of staggered it took those sections. Anyway, basically what I'm saying is it's structured like a book. You need to build that world around what's happening with Boba Fett, and we did spend a lot of time with Boba Fett in those first few episodes telling the story that needed to be told, and we're at this point which it's the writing's there, it's good. They're building that universe around what's happening. And to be honest, with last week's episode, I spoke about it a bit and basically said, the reason we got a whole episode of The Mandalorian away from Boba Fett was basically a Mandalorian 2.5. Purpose of that is, I feel, is that we'd spent so much time located solely on Tatooine that it started feeling a little small. We know Tatooine, we know Mos Espa is a big place. But to pull back out and sort of see what Mando's doing at the same time, it sort of reveals that sort of bigger world, and it sort of draws you back out to look at the bigger picture, which is fantastic. And I had a drink, I swear. I literally just sort of like half poured that down my chin. Ugh. I had to do it live, didn't I? So yeah, basically, like, it really had to sort of pull back and show the bigger picture of what's going on here. So I think it achieved that, and then doing it again this episode, following up Din Djarin, the Mandalorian, following up on his, going to see Grogu, which how we managed to find him is, discussion for another day. That doesn't really matter. I wouldn't say it's a plot hole because it just happens, goes from point A to B and he's got to go back to A. It's just storytelling. It doesn't need an explanation. We can just, make up, maybe it's in the street directory. Maybe Luke left a card. Who knows? Like, I don't know. Darth Rock's here. What's going on, my man? Hope you're doing well, man. Looking rather empty back there. Oh, just saying earlier, man, like the whole room's looking rather empty. I still have my books, my media, and my beautiful sail barge. All my figures are all packed away. Everything is sort of got some stuff on the floor, empty boxes, things to pack and store. So that's the plan for the coming days. More packing. So hello. Diably Cooling. I'm doing well. The bookshelves have moved. I will be moving. I'm in the process of packing and moving. Yeah. So I'm getting out of here. Getting out of here. This is my this, as I stated earlier, this has been my last live stream in this Star Wars room. Moving on with life. So looking forward to what I can do in the future with Star Wars room. I swear you never sleep, Rolando. He's everywhere. He's absolutely everywhere. What an absolute champion. Sorry, just wanted to finish that before it got cold and before I decided to tip more down my lap. So it wasn't hot. So luckily, it's all good. Bigger and better things on the horizon. Absolutely, you know it, dude. You know it. But yeah, the whole, what I loved about this episode big time was the way it tied together both prequel trilogy and sequel trilogy with, all the OT flavors that we're used to. It was absolutely amazing. We go from seeing, like the sacking of the Jedi Temple with Order 66 in the flashback of Grogu's. Seems to be that's his sort of, last memory, which at this point goes back probably 25 to 30 years, somewhere in the middle of there. So he would have been 20 years old, around that point. So still very much a very young infant in terms of his species. And then with Luke building his Jedi Academy, starting to build the temple for his Jedi Academy, a lot of people have debated whether it's the same planet or not. For myself personally, I'm going with same planet. Darth Rock's off to bed. Thanks for popping in, man. I appreciate that. May the Force be with you too, Mr. Darth Rock. So yeah, at the moment I'm sort of just playing with the idea that that is the same temple. We haven't really seen reason as to why it wouldn't be. The landscape looks a little bit different, but things change over. We're talking like another 20 years into the future when Kylo Ren loses his shit and. Curtis, what's going on, man? Thanks for popping in, dude. Appreciate that big time. Great to hear from you. Who saved Grogu from the five? That is the question. No, that's the big Q. That is the big Q. There's been a lot of talk about there's a symbol on the wall on the right. So as you're looking to the back of the three Jedi that are there defending Grogu, there's a symbol on a wall, and a lot of people have said that's Barriss Offie's crest, which is interesting. Does that just mean it's her bedroom? Who knows? Don't know what the symbolic significance of that is. So whether it was just there to, just add a little bit more detail to the set, I'm not sure. I'm really not sure. Been waiting for your hot takes since Wednesday. Oh man, I've had so many hot takes this week. It's been ridiculous. It's actually been nice to sort of wait a couple of days, really digest it like a sarlacc, like just the juices just slowly cooking it in something like that. Something. Every time I watch a new episode, I'm just imagining your reaction in my head. It was pretty much like for like 45 minutes straight. And high fives with my bro. It was so good, man. I loved every second of it. I was smiling from ear to ear. Dave Filoni just... I bow to you, sir. I know he's not watching. If he was, I'd, hi, Dave. Please watch. No. Just everything with Luke, there's just so much to Luke just from this episode that, we're sort of starting to see, those pieces that, it's very minute, but those early pieces of the puzzle to where he gets in the sequel trilogy. And at the moment, it seems like he has some hesitation in training Grogu, because he knows there's attachments, but I feel like Luke has taken a real sort of prequel trilogy era-esque view on Jedi training. He's very much sticking to the books. We imagine he's going through collecting books, collecting bits and pieces, he's been gaining all this knowledge, and I feel like he's using that as like a guide to teach, and he has yet to learn of the mistakes of the teaching, I think, such as his attachments. Like, he's lived through a period of understanding that, attachments, while they do have a negative impact on a Jedi's life, it was his attachments to his father. It was his father's attachment to Luke that ended up saving them both from the Emperor and saving the galaxy. So I think Luke needs to, really sort of step back and focus at this point and understand that, maybe there is a way to deal with being a Jedi and having attachments, and whether or not that falls apart completely with Ben Solo, there is still so much to be told with Ben Solo, and that story of his full. I know we had the comic book, The Rise of Kylo Ren, but that was just a small piece of that puzzle. I really do believe that. So I just want to put out there a little bet for the season finale next week. I just feel like with everything that's happened in this episode, we need something to go up and top that. You don't go up, and then down for the finale. I just don't feel like that's the way, unless they're going with a second season. For all intents and purposes, it looks like they're going to stick with one season. But I have so many different trains of thought going at the moment. It's like a tree root. Like, I've got one thought, and then it's just, it's crazy. So I think the big reveal at the end is going to be Han Solo, Chewbacca, and 3-year-old Ben. Could happen, guys. It could happen. You could DH the crap out of Adam Driver. Adam Driver on set being like 6'8" or whatever he is, and they just like shrink him down, make him walk on his elbows, and just de-age him to look like a little kid. No, I think they'd get just a kid with sort of some messy dark hair, 3 years old. I don't know. I don't know if it will happen. It's what I want to see, though. It's what I want to see. Watched it twice that night, going to watch it again tonight now. Me too, Michael. Absolutely. It's a no-brainer. We watched it at work the other day, and we just had it on loop for, I think we watched it 3 or 4 times. It was fantastic. Just awesome. Well, it's something we've always seen, right? Qui-Gon had the attachment to Anakin and went against the council to train him. Absolutely. Qui-Gon had a clear view of Anakin's attachments to his mother. And that was, the Jedi were totally against training him for that purpose, that he had too much life experience and experienced love for his mother, experienced emotion, and and we learn later on that even Obi-Wan had attachments with Duchess Satine Kryze on Mandalore. And I think there is a way to have attachments as a Jedi Knight and not allow it to impede. There's got to be a way. Whether, I don't know, I'm not sure. As someone, as most of us are, we're just everyday sort of working people that experience emotions and stuff with people. It's hard to put yourself in those shoes, those Jedi boots. Boba riding Rancor, maybe that would be cool. Yeah, I think that's a given. But I don't know. I just had this idea that Han would show up and have like a truce with Boba. But that led me to my other thought that I was having before, and it's the whole thing here, the whole big picture of what this show is about is how a galaxy operates when a vacuum of power appears. So when Jabba gets killed and Bib Fortuna does like a half-assed job of taking over, and you have all these families that are, trying to defend their own territories, and then you get a syndicate like the Pikes coming in and trying to take over, you have this vacuum of power, this complete utter chaos. And we're led to believe that the opposite of chaos is order. So we're starting to see those seeds being planted with the Empire being disbanded. The gangs, the major families of the Hutts have sort of withdrawn from leading the criminal underworld and keeping that in check. All of a sudden, we have a galaxy that is seemingly in a bit of chaos. The New Republic is having a problem, is having issues taking hold of systems. It's policing the Outer Rim, but it can't really do much. It hasn't got the capabilities to keep it under control. The New Republic can't control the gangs. It's this whole big cluster of, chaos throughout the galaxy. And that's where the Imperial Remnant goes off, reorganizes themselves into the First Order, and comes back some, 25 years later to try and bring back order to the galaxy. Like, it's just been, obviously the New Republic gets to a point where they do have some semblance of order, but it's not enough to realize that the Empire is still basically out there. Like, they've gone back to their sort of political dogma of the old Republic and all this sort of mumbo jumbo. And the First Order has been able to rise to power. And that's what we get to in the sequel trilogy. So we're seeing, by then, we're also seeing, new gangs. We're seeing the Guavian Death Gang. We're seeing Tasu Leech, the Kanji Club. Tell that to Kanji Club. We're seeing the Kanji Club, these gangs that have been able to rise to power in amongst the chaos. And, they seem potentially a little bit more brutal than others. So I don't know. That's just where my brain's sort of been stirring about with the shape of the galaxy at large, how you sort of piece together some of those early jigsaw puzzle pieces as they build up this sort of post-original trilogy, pre-sequel trilogy era in these very early days. Star Wars Addict 88 says, I think the War on Tatooine will continue into Mando Season 3 and Boba's story will continue there as well. That's very possible. Absolutely. Could even in Ahsoka. I think we're going to get the Ahsoka series before that too. So we will see. Episode 6 was some of the best Star Wars I've seen since the original trilogy. I'd agree with you there, 100%. What we're seeing here is what if George Lucas decided, in 1983, Return of the Jedi come out, said, look, 1987 or 1986, we're going to do episode 7. 1989, we're going to do episode 8. 1991 or 92, whatever, do episode 9 and then go back and do 1, 2, 3. If Lucas had decided to continue on with the cast he had with a story, this is kind of what we'd be seeing just in terms of Luke here, and what I'm thinking about with Han Solo. Boba Fett coming back, would have been a good foil if he was to come back for, an 80s episode 7. Han turns up and Chewie fights Black K to death. Oh, they have fought in the comics. I don't think we need another season of Boba. As dope as the show is, they've shown he can't hold a series. I say that nicely. I just want that mofo to ride a rake. Absolutely, man. But I want, as much as I want to see Boba Fett riding a Rancor, I just want him to use his damn jetpack, man. Mando didn't use his jetpack. He had so much opportunity to use his jetpack. Like, instead, he staggered down that ladder into the Mando convert. Could have just jetpacked down, man. Like, done. You're there. Just make sure you land on your good foot. And Boba Fett, like, there was that whole speeder chase that happened in the 3rd episode, and you get right to the end of the chase and Boba just lands. It's like, no, we want to see him flying and shooting that damn stupid Twi'lek dude in his car, firing rockets at him, trying to just stop him that way. I don't know. Just want to see Boba flying his jetpack, man. That's what it's there for. Unless it's still broken, like he may not. Maybe he didn't. No, because Cobb Vanth used it. My logic is flawed, I tell you. Oh, Cad Bane, man. Cad freaking Bane. As soon as I saw that duster coat in the distance, in the desert, the shape of the brim of the hat, I was just... I couldn't believe it. Like, we thought we'd just gotten the absolute creme de la creme of Star Wars, like, TV viewing of anything. And then Dave just goes, oh yeah, just gonna chuck Cad Bane in here, and he's gonna do some badass. And what I loved is that they showed Cobb Vanth, like, he's no sucker with a gun. That dude took out 3 pikes in one quick draw. He left one alive. He could have killed them all, but he needed someone to go back. And he was smooth, like he flipped the gun. They showed that intentionally. So when he shows against Cad Bane, we see Cad Bane do something ridiculous. We need Cad Bane to be shown to be a quicker draw than Cobb Vanth. And that's those little elements of storytelling that you do. You show Cad Bane, you show Cobb Vanth. I have his figure here. I do have some more figures here. I kept a couple of my favorites out so I can have access to them over the next period of time where I don't have access to all of them. So you show a character being a real quick draw. So when he comes up against, don't worry, I've got Cad. He comes up against Cad Bane, and Cad Bane's able to take out Cobb Vanth in the shoulder. He hadn't killed him. He just disarmed him. Deputy Douchebag, however, he copped it. He's gone. He's got no chance. He's not coming back. I know I think his name was Scott. Deputy Scott, people. Yes, it is the same universe as Luke. So, but then you see Cobb Vanth doing a quick draw, quick fire, and you just go, okay, he is damn quick. But I like what people have done with the animation. They've changed it up, and they've, made him a bit more blue. They've moved his mouth down. They've made him a little bit more animated. I personally love what they did. The fact that they decided to stick with prosthetics. You can tell because it's covering a nose. Like, it's like that. And then the mouth is sort of where the human mouth is. It was good. Like, it works for real life. And the fact that he was a little bit pale, I just attribute that to the bright sunlight of the Tatooine suns. That those twin suns would be reflecting down off the sand, like we have it here in the ocean. That's why sky's blue in Earth, because the sunlight reflects off the ocean and bounces that blue back up into the sky. I just attribute it to that bright light of Tatooine. Middle of the day, bright light. You put that Cad Bane in, Coruscant underworld, he's going to look like a nice crispy blue. Look at this guy. Hey there, little lady. No, he's just seeing him come to life in live action was just, there's something else, man. Like, it's just, I still don't have thoughts. This is like a normal Wednesday night where I'm just, but it was fantastic. Cad Bane was awesome. Gonk Prime is here. Thanks for tuning in. Oh, Mr. Gonk Prime. Do you think Boba and Bane will have a rematch, or Fennec and Bane? Considering we haven't seen the first match, unless they do a semi-flashback between Boba and Cad, I don't know. I kind of want to see it, but I feel like if they're going to face off again, one of them has to go down. We saw in Bad Batch that. So we've all pretty much gone back and watched that previous cinematic of Clone Wars where young Boba Fett, voiced by Daniel Logan, had a shootout with Cad Bane. Boba got the dent in the helmet. Cad ended up getting shot in the head. I don't know whether he was meant to die at that point, but they brought him back for Bad Batch, and he had a big metal plate on his head, so he survived that as well. So I think if they're going to roll with that story, firstly, I think they need to show it canonically. Secondly, if they have a shootout, there has to be some cost. Whether it's Boba getting taken out or Cad Bane getting taken out. I'm interested to see what they're going to do with that sort of that bit there. That should be interesting. One more episode. Sad. We lost it. Certainly did. And the fact that they kept Corey Burton on to do the voice was just amazing decision. Like, just genius. You just don't go anywhere else. If you've got Corey Burton doing a character voice, you get Corey Burton to continue doing that character voice. It's just amazing. In Mando Season 3, do you think when they retake Mandalore, Boba and Fennec will join them to repay him? So there's a bit of a theory bouncing around at the moment with how Boba Fett could become the ruler of Mandalore. And that is that Cad Bane defeats Din Djarin in a duel. Doesn't necessarily need to kill him, but needs to disarm him and, lay claim to the Darksaber. Then Boba Fett takes out Cad Bane and takes the Darksaber, and then Boba can then rule Mandalore as... But I don't know. I'm not sure what they're going to do that. Yeah, really not sure. I'm very much looking... I love speculating, but I'm just sort of keen to just watch it play out, The only reason Cobb Vanth lost because he looked at the other guy for a second, and that was Bane's chance. Possibly, but either way, like a good armsman doesn't get distracted. The deputy douchebag had to come and open his mouth. Are we going to see Grogu in the Starfighter with Mando? Absolutely, man. Absolutely. We need to see Grogu in that little bubble. That's what it was built for. It would be a waste otherwise. Either that or it's going to be like a spot for more gang leaders' heads. It's his head box. It's like his esky. Keeps his cold beers in the back there. All right. Gong Prime. If I was to get some Mando figs, what do you suggest? I have Beskar Mando, Episode 1 Mando, Bo-Katan, Moff Gideon, Stormtrooper, and Grogu. Are we talking Black Series or are we talking vintage? Because all of those are available in 3 3/4 and 6 inch. So you got Bo-Katan. If you're going Black Series, Cobb Vanth, fantastic, great figure. Awesome likeness. And Timothy Oliphant, if you don't mind me saying, he is one handsome MFer, big time. He has fantastic hair. He is just a good-looking dude. Yeah, he's just a nice-looking man. If one's going down, they're not going to kill Boba. No way in hell Mando will die. Yeah, I don't think so either. No, not with his popularity and marketing presence at the moment. He's too big of a character to be wiped out. It's fitting for Din to rule. He is the Mandalorian. I feel like Cobb got shot because he was offended at Scotty undermining him. Yeah, I think so too. I think Cad Bane wasn't there to kill. I mean, he took out the deputy, but he was nothing like, who cares? He was just a douchebag. But, it was more or less to send a message. But I think in Cad Bane doing that, it was going to rally the rest of the town to go, well, you shot out sheriff, marshal. We're going to go help Boba Fett. You can let Cobb Vanth soak in that back to the tank for a little while, heal his arm up. He's going to be okay. We need more Timothy Oliphant in Star Wars because he is fantastic. And I'm sure me, like most, enjoy looking at him. Collecting Unleashed. Hello there. Hope you're doing well. If you all think 6 is good, wait till episode 7. It will blow your mind. P.S. I have been here for a while. I sent you the Jedi pic on Insta. Oh, Mike, thank you. Appreciate you hanging out. Yeah, I absolutely think episode 7 is going to blow my mind. That's what I'm saying. Han Solo, Chewbacca, Ben Solo. You heard it here first. Unless you thought of it too, then whatever. Usual mic. Yes, there it is. How freaking beautiful is that flashback? How... Seen those clone troopers? I think both me and Lockie, Lockie is Shorty film fan, for those who aren't aware. Should change it to Lockie Skywalker. So that people know. We were watching that, and I pretty much said, are we going to see Anakin here? Are we going to see Anakin? Is he going to come through and be like, no? But That's okay. It's good. No, because yeah. Can you imagine if Anakin just showed up there? Ridiculous. Would have been ridiculous. Everyone's saying hello. He also shot Cobb once, and he's got Shoddy like 5 times. Scotty like 5 times. Scotty doesn't know. Scotty doesn't know. Yeah, Deputy Douchebag. He's not coming back from that, man. Like, he's going boom, 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 boom. He's done. He is done. The usual mic. You forgot Leia and Kira may show up. I don't know. Like, there was a point where I thought, yeah, Kira could show up with Crimson Dawn, but I don't know. I mean, I'm not going to say no because, you know, it may be like the first step to building. You know, we do have to understand that, like, finishing this season isn't like an ending. It's going to set up more shit. Pardon my French. I try not to swear on my live streams, but I just dropped that one out. But I did spill my coffee before, so think of it as a delayed reaction to doing that. I need water. What is good? So can anyone tell me whether you've been to Galaxy's Edge, whether they're doing the Sand People like eggshell mugs yet? Because I want one. I should. Done. Nicely done, sir. I like the picture. You got a picture too? Oh man, you're part of this YouTube thing now. You're now a part of the tribe. I cried when Mando was playing away and Grogu was reaching out and could feel it was him through the Force. That was hard, man. Like, and the decision at the end that Luke basically gave to Grogu was, you take the mithril vest. I say that as a Lord of the Rings fan, because it's basically mithril. You take that and you go be with Din. You go be with the Mandalorian, or you take Yoda's lightsaber and you stay with me and become a Jedi. And I forgot where my train of thought was going. But yeah, what a decision, man. Like, I don't know. What does everyone think? What do you think Grogu's going to do? I'm personally thinking his understanding of why Din walked away, because, you know, Ahsoka gave him the idea that either, you know, when Ahsoka asked him as he was going up to see Grogu, where he said, are you doing this for him or are you doing this for yourself? And he immediately understood, you know, that, you know, his attachment to Din could jeopardize his Jedi training. So I feel like Grogu's going to think, well, if he was able to walk away from it, I can focus on becoming a Jedi. That's personally where I think it's going to go. How long do you think episode 7 will be with all the theories try to put in? Oof. I think it's going to be around like a 45 to 50 minute thing. Like, this one was 43 minutes, I think, give or take. And we got a lot. You pack a lot in. Like, I've been talking here for 45 minutes and I've just dribbled the most enormous amount of blah. Even coffee. I spilled coffee on myself. Like, what a noob. Jaden, what's going on, man? Hope the movie's going well. Love this episode again. Cad Bane, dude, how good. Can't wait for the TV figures from this series. Yes, absolutely. Who do you think Grogu will choose? Yeah, I'm going to go with the Padawan. Back with Dad. I wonder what Ahsoka was doing with Luke since she was searching for Thrawn. So does the Ahsoka series take place after this or between Mando and last episode? That's a good thought. this could be a like middle stop, like post Mando season 2 appearance, but pre Ahsoka series. So she's like still gathering intel where Thrawn is, yada yada yada. She still hasn't gone back to pick up Sabine to start looking for Ezra. The whole series of Ahsoka, I think, is going to be seeking out Ezra Bridger, who, as we know, is still missing after the events of Star Wars Rebels. And the thought occurred to me today at work, or yesterday. All my last days have blurred in together. Thought occurred to me is that we could eventually see Luke Skywalker and Ezra Bridger on screen together. Like, that's just... like, just the thought of that happening is just crazy. Crazy. But with Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau up on the top of the pedestal, much like the helmet on the toilet roll holder that I have right there. Anything's possible. Like, this could get completely wacky and crazy. Red Leader 1, what's going on, Malcolm? Hope you're well, mate. The lightsaber looks more appealing than a chainmail shirt. Absolutely. Grogu's going to grow out of that thing too. Like, you can't grow out of a lightsaber. Yoda had that thing for 900 years. So, yeah, a lot of lightsaber. Possible plot hole there. Where did Luke get it? How did Luke have it? Yoda lost it in the Senate in episode 3 with his duel with Palpatine. It got flicked out of his hand. He dropped it, and then he had to force push him back, and he fell down the thing, and he scratched the thing, and he lost his cape, and yada, yada, yada. So we got that episode, we got that mission in Star Wars Battlefront 2 where Luke is on that coral reef planet Pilio, and he's searching through, he's trying to get to one of Emperor Palpatine's force safes. Like, you can only get into this sort of safed storage container by using the Force, and he gets in there, and that's where he gets his compass from to find the first Jedi Temple. Now, I imagine he tracked down a lot of these holdouts for things that the Palpatine was trying to keep out of the galaxy, So I think, just came across it in there and just learned, that's Yoda's. That's what it is. Or whether or not Yoda managed to get it at some point and had it on in his heart on Dagobah. So who actually knows? We may or may not find out. Do you think maybe they're going to make Grogu pick the Beskar to write him out of getting killed by Kylo Ren? They're going to stick with the sequels being canon. Oh, they're going to stick with the sequels being canon. Absolutely, 100%. They're just going to build up the story around it to, be a fuller picture. But I don't know. I don't think so. Like, if you read the comics, I know comics aren't the end all be all to canon. Like, this stuff takes precedence over the comics. And it's basically like Kylo Ren didn't actually kill any Jedi, wipe them out. It was a tragic bunch of circumstances that led to, a bunch of Jedi being killed. Like, it may have been his fault. I should probably go back and reread it, but just getting them out of the way. So I don't think so. I think there's a bigger picture at play here for Grogu, and I think Disney as a corporate entity owning the rights to Star Wars, they want Grogu to be a part of storytelling for, well, in universe, 800-900 years. Why couldn't we jump forward 300 years seeing a young adolescent Grogu running around and, doing stuff? So much potential for a character like that with such a long lifespan. Are you redoing your shelves? No, I'm packing to move. I'm packing to move. Ed5, what's going on, man? Glad you could pop by. I did tell you I was going to come on and do this tonight. I'm glad I come in. Yeah, this has been a very good part of my week, honestly, coming here and chatting with you guys. I missed it on Wednesday. I felt bad for not updating it last night. And, coming in here and sitting down. This is the last time I'll be doing a live stream in this room. But again, you got better things. Awesome. I can't wait. Post finale. It's going to be fun. Post credit scene, yay or nay? A trailer for something else? Kenobi? I was expecting Kenobi. Why are you here? How long was this episode meant to be after Return of the Jedi? I think this is sort of around 5 years later, 4 or 5 years later. I think at one point they said 7, but I think they're sort of teetering around that 5 to 7 years. It's not super clear. Yeah. Malcolm says the best part was seeing Luke and Ahsoka side by side. That was incredible, wasn't it? And there's that one bit where Ahsoka says, I've mentioned it earlier, that you just like your father or something like that. And the way he looks at her, like there was a little bit of Hayden Christensen in that face that I was just like, yay, but 50% of people click off before they see it. They're the same type of people that walk out of a Marvel movie before the end of the credits. You just look at them, you're just disappointed, shake head. I read Leader 1. Both you gentlemen are up there in neighboring towns, almost, kind of. If you were to make sequels non-canon and rewrite it, what would you do? I wouldn't. I would just build more story around it. If anything, I would reclassify 7, 8, 9 as 10, 11, 12, and then add in 7, 8, 9 in the middle, just to sort of build up to that. Almost like the sequels now need prequels. So we had the original trilogy, which is, Darth Vader, Luke. And then we went back and we had the prequel trilogy, which explained the fall of Darth Vader, the Anakin Skywalker, the birth of the twins, yada, yada, yada. Now we want to go back and see the training of Ben Solo, the tragedy of Ben Solo's fall, and the tragedy of, basically Luke Skywalker having to pull himself out of the fight just because he feels like it's the right thing to do. He became cynical and jaded towards the ways of the Jedi. It wasn't working. It was a big failure, and he needed to learn from it, and he didn't think about learning from his failures. So yeah, I wouldn't, but that's my personal feelings. Found by Maz Kanata again. Good story for another time. Yeah, but apparently Yoda retrieved it and fixed it himself, so he kept it in his glory box till he died. Hey, very possible. Very, very possible. Hello, mate. Hello, chat. Just on break at work in the UK. Thanks, Andy. Appreciate you stopping by, dude. Hope the job's going well. Rock on, dude. We'll get together and have a chat real soon. Ed5, you're just a gem of a man. Absolute gem of a man. I appreciate that. You know it. I wonder if Grogu is not fond of lightsabers. Now that was a good point that I've heard a few people say, like, because we had that flashback and it really focused in on Grogu for a moment there with the lightsabers flashing in his eyes, like, because he was watching that happen. He was watching his comrades, fall. And then he's sitting there looking up at Luke's lightsaber as he's training. And then he's looking at the green lightsaber of Yoda's as it's held in front of him. And they're really focused on that. So whether or not that comes to Grogu as a painful experience, or whether it's something else, whether it's something that's like, oh, these are people that defended me and tried to save me, yada, 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 or, am I in trouble if I spend time with these people because it happened once already? Who knows? Ahsoka trailer. Morning Red 5. Maybe Grogu will become the first Jedi Mandalorian since Tarv is eventually wielding the Darksaber down the line. That'd be cool, wouldn't it? 24 in the chat. Smash that like button. We got 25 now. yeah, hit the like. If you're not subscribed, please do that too. That would be fantastic. I'd love to hear Ahsoka and Luke having more conversation about how heroic Anakin used to be, and just seeing Luke learn more about his father before he's Vader. That'd be fantastic too. That's exactly what I want. Doing the math, when Boba got out of the Sarlacc pit is a week after Return of the Jedi, confirmed by Dave, and he was with the Tuskens for 5 years. And you see when Fennec got picked up by Boba, it's about 6 years after Return of the Jedi. That makes sense. Honestly, I thought the probably Sarlacc pit might have been like, later that night. It was like late morning before lunch, the Battle of Carcoon, and then after that, then that later that night, Boba was like, "Oh, I gotta get out of here." Tuning in after a long time, loving the chat. Thank you for tuning in. Appreciate that. Kerry's here. Master Luke's Galactic Jedi Academy will so be a Disney Plus series. I said that during the week. I'm like, Luke's got to have a series now. Like, assuming that technology isn't like cost prohibitive, like just get it done. But at the same time, like the Lord of the Rings series is costing $1 billion. Like it's $100 million an episode. Like that's outrageous. Yeah, problem with getting Cobb Vanth, I was talking about Black Series, he's like $70 everywhere or sold out. Boo. Who else is a good one? Quill. Get Quill. Quill's brilliant. That's a really good figure. Did you ever do another stream with Sith Lord 229? Absolutely. Absolutely. 100%. I will endeavor to make that happen, because some of those episodes we chatted with Sith Lord and Daniel East, like that, just those guys are what got me started on YouTube, and I love those dudes. They're fantastic. I'll make it happen. Absolutely. It will happen. It's almost looked like he had his lips pierced to speak at the end of the episode, Grogu, I mean. Oh, lips pursed. I see what you mean. Lips pierced. I had my lips pierced once. Got 2 holes in my face. Could be. We'll see. Galactic Unleashed. I don't think we'll take the sequels out of canon, like you said. I don't want to expand what we know to give is more information that give a different look at some things that happened. Absolutely. That's my, yeah. It's Clone Warsing the prequel trilogy to build upon it. Red Leader, everyone's saying hello. Give us the most insane lightsaber duel, Grogu versus Kylo. So we get a Bosk versus Kassantan, a Mando versus Cad Bane, and potentially Fennec recruiting the Bad Batch. Oh, I doubt it with the Bad Batch, but the other 2 fights would be epic. Yes, I would love to see all of that above. Just need a Black Series Bantha, put a Tusken. Yeah, definitely. There's Max Rebo, the key to all of this. Absolutely. The book of Max Rebo. Someone said like they didn't show him on camera at the end there. Like, so is he there? Like, was he there? Was he playing the piano? Did he take the night off? Who knows? Someone else said, he's just a blue stain on the wall now, which is horrible because I love Max Rebo. I hope the Lando series. Oh, Curtis. Rock on, man. You're an absolute legend. I appreciate that big time. Oh, man. That's why I love it. Every single one of you guys that come out and watch. Everyone, like, it's just stuff makes my day, honestly. Like, coming and chatting with you folks. And that is just super generous, man. I can't thank you enough. Just honestly, dude, that's just tip of the hat to you, sir. That is very, very generous. I appreciate that. That will definitely go to something Star Wars. Oh man, that's amazing. Thank you. I'm speechless, to be honest. So who do you think saved Grogu from Order 6? You know what? I really don't know. What if it was Anakin? He's like, I can't take out this youngling. He's too cute. I'll just go put him over here somewhere out of the way. Extremely proud of my Cad Bane action figure. They even kept his hat. I love it. Will we see the Rancor? I'm betting we will. That's what Boba's been doing for the last couple of hours of TV. He's been learning to ride that thing. Shout out to Bulletproof Villain for my TVC Quill, Mithro, and Gonk. Rock on. Bulletproof Villain. Legends. Max Rebo lives. If Max survives, that is twice he has cheated death. Max Rebo is bigger than death. No one takes Max Rebo. Max Rebo is not in the cantina. Hey, the gig tonight, man. I got a gig tonight. But no one's complaining that Figure and Dan's gone. We're just glad Max got out, but everyone's like, oh, Admiral Akbar died, and he said a few things in Return of the Jedi, and then Nine Numb died in Rise of Skywalker. It's like, oh, that pancake face guy, he was just like, blah, blah, blah. He's gone, and everyone's like, oh, we're gonna riot. And it's like, oh, Figure and Dan, he's just one of the greatest musicians of all the galaxy, and he's just, everyone's like, oh, Max Rebo's cool. Come on. Give Figure and Dan some love. We're about to get an action figure of him. Fallen Jedi, my good friend, thank you for tuning in. I appreciate it. I can't believe it's been an hour. There's been so much to talk about in this episode, and I could talk for longer, but I feel like I'm going to lose my voice very, very shortly. Not sure if you mentioned this, but obviously Luke and Ezra. Absolutely. I did say that. How insane would that be, seeing those two fighting together, both two green lightsabers, Luke in his black, Ezra in his orange. Oh, that'd be just... Max Rebo's the head of the Pikes. He knew. He got the tip off. Max knew about the bombs. He didn't go to the cantina, and he and Bib escaped the barge in a mini rig skimmer. I love that. Someone has to do a toy photo of that. Do you think R2-D2 put Grogu inside him and the clones, or Anakin would not check in him? I don't know. Does R2 have room in him? How'd you get the Mando helmet stand? I need one. It was a toilet roll holder. They just search for toilet roll holders. We need a TVC Max Rebo band set. Absolutely. Luke, Ezra, Cal, and Ahsoka. Don't make me have dreams and hopes that are so bright. Oh, wow. Thank you so much, guys. I'm going to start wrapping it up for this week. I'm so thrilled I was able to come and chat with you all. I appreciate every single one of you that's come tonight. Appreciate the generosity of both Curtis and Ed5 for their super chats. That means the absolute world to me. Love you guys. Love all your support. I'm going to get through some last minute comments before I wrap up. But yeah, I appreciate everyone coming and hanging out. It's yeah, as some of you know, just going through a bit of a tough patch at the moment, but I'm doing good. I'm kicking ass. I'm happy. I'm pushing ahead. I'm punching out of this Sarlacc. What's your latest pickups? Just for eBay, the Hasbro Sebulba's Pod Racer, Anakin's Pod Racer, and the 2 Attack of the Clones, Zam Wessel, Anakin's. Nice work. That's awesome. I love those. I love those Pod Racers. I do need to get the Zam Wessel Speeder. That's awesome. What have I picked up recently? Just the 2 Black Series reviews, really, that I've done last week. The Night Brother and the RC Boss. But I did buy myself a Nintendo Switch and Pokemon Legends Arceus, so I've been playing that a fair bit. Not as much as I would have liked to, but it's a fun game. I'm liking it a lot. takes me back to my childhood a little bit. I love the Pokemon games when I was a kid, so it's kind of cool. It's kind of cool. But yeah, what else have I picked up? Not a lot, to be honest. It's been also that Mandalorian pack with the Moldo Crease vintage collection, and we do have some more in stock at work. So if you're here in Australia with me, and you go kesselrunhair.com, it will take you straight to our shop, and we have 3 left. I think 3. I don't know if, yeah, I'm pretty sure there's 3 left. So if you're after that vintage collection Moldo Crease set, jump on, grab it. You can also, I'm going to sneakily use the code. If you use code KRH20, you can get 20% off. And just put a little note there saying I sent you. You get 20% off that set. And yeah, it's a great deal for a great figure. We'll pack it up beautifully and get it sent out to you if you're here in Australia as well. So awesome stuff. Love it. Love it. Love having action figures to sell in my own work. I love it. I believe that Grogu is watching from inside R2 because the 501st say go, go, go as they move forward. It's interesting. I'm pretty keen to know what's going on there. The Order 66 flashback only gets more excited for the Kenobi series. Can't wait to see what they do with that. Absolutely. The new Darth Jar Jar theory is Darth Rebo. I love that. Grogu was wearing the cloak of invisibility from Harry Potter. Oh, now we're crossing the streams. Don't cross the streams. Oh, fantastic, guys. Thank you so much for coming and hanging out with me tonight. This was an absolute blast. Love doing this. I can't wait for next week. It's gonna be fantastic. Yeah, Wednesday night. I will be there. I will make sure with bells on to talk about all this with you guys. Hope you can make it. Stay tuned to my social media, Instagram or Facebook. I didn't stream through Facebook tonight, but I will on Wednesday. So yeah, just stay tuned and keep an eye out for times. Hit the little notification bell on my channel. That will make sure you get alerts for when videos drop and or live streams are about to happen. Same as Facebook. That will give you alerts and stuff so you know when I'm about to go live. I think it gives you like a 15 or 30-minute lead time. So yeah, plenty of options to do. Same YouTube, you know, if you're not subscribed, please subscribe. Like the video, give the video a thumbs up. That really helps. And yeah, all that good stuff. Thank you all for hanging out tonight. I appreciate every single one of you. You're all legends. Love yous all. And until next week, may the force be with you always.